Thank you, dear.
What I see about it is
Hold
this.
on, Africa. Hold on. We having black talk right now. You want to stay up here, or you want me to move you down?
Me, it's okay. Yeah, she can
You
talk.
gon' you gonna chill? Okay. JT, hey,
What's up, good sis? How are you?
I'm doing good,
What y'all in here talking about today?
man. You had to be here. That's all I'm gonna say. You had to be here. So we were talking about at this point, basically, I'm gonna say I was talking about like the stigma that FBA has.
Well,
Many
I,
people.
I to be honest with you, we're always gonna have a stigma because one thing that has never been done throughout the diaspora is Black Americans starting to hold other groups accountable. And so now that that's happening, right?
But
They
wait a
have.
minute, JT. Let me say
Mhm.
something because I'm not, I ain't trying to be funny. Like we was on, I had a space yesterday, no, day before yesterday, about stop, stop spending our money. Should our money, Black American dollars, stay in the Black community? And I kind of want to take some kind of responsibility because this stigma, it's not just happening with FBAs going against like immigrants. It's actually happening to regular Black Americans. So we got to move past. Oh, it's only really they get down on immigrants. No, they getting down on people who say that they FBA, which I say I'm FBA/Black American. As soon as I say that, I might be talking to another Black American that don't have nothing good to say. It's just been all bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Some people attack people and then throw up, oh, I'm FBA. You know what I mean? Like, it don't package well.
Well,
Well,
we did that on Twitter too, though, love.
Yeah, we did. And it didn't package well over there either.
what a lot of Pan Africans are starting to try to do now is to say, well, I'm
No, they ain't even Pan Africans. It might be a Black Democrat. It might be a Black LGBTQ.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's still people who holding on to their like individual political ideology and
Yeah.
still identify as
But
FBA.
they
So
still Black American. These
Yeah,
other people, they still got the same lineage as us.
yeah,
And like me, I got the same lineage as y'all too. But I had my own experiences. So that's
I
all I'm
think
gonna
it's part of the
say.
vetting process of who people feel like they
But
go.
the vetting process, I ain't
You,
even gonna go there. I ain't gonna even go there because who?
cause, cause
I mean, who do people
I'm
think they is to vet people like that? That's
when I mean
insane to
vet,
me. That make people don't even want to be involved, or
yeah,
that made me feel like I don't even want to say. I just want to go back to Black American. Who are
when I
anybody
mean
to
vet,
vet me or
when I mean
anybody?
vet, like it comes down like what circles they gonna involve themselves in.
Well, I'm not.
Now,
I came over here by myself. I ain't asked nobody to come over here or invite me into their circle
no, I'm
or
saying
to
like
judge
if they
me.
gonna indulge in like if they gonna indulge in dealing with you,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It just get all messy. Like, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
it
That's
does.
some
But watch
messy
out,
shit to me.
it start becoming like some group think type of stuff.
Yeah,
And
and
that's why I
that's
want
why
well,
people.
people say CULT, because
well,
that group think whole thing. If you ain't moving the way I think you should move, then you ain't us.
no, I
Yeah,
think
I
that
feel like you gotta be able to.
I
But
think
I feel
we
do
like
have.
you think that comes from the trauma of being co opted generation after generation? So more people kind of like walking on eggshells to make sure the people they do deal with or be involved with is not being counteractive to what we doing because we see different individuals are watching what we doing and trying to co-opt what we doing. Democrats using our talking points now, the Republicans trying to convince us that we need to side with them, and then you have the Pan Africans that's still mad and they're pretending to be FBA, but they're still using Pan African talking points.
But
So
my thing is that you run people away like that. I thought we want our people to all unite. That was the impression I was under. I thought we
Yeah.
wanted our people to all unite and fight for a common goal, a common cause, which is the betterment of our people and us getting what's due to us. I didn't think that it was to be, you know what I mean, all this conflict within. You know, especially if you don't share the same views on everything and you move a certain different way, then
Right.
you get attacked. I wasn't under that impression.
I want
Yeah,
everybody
I
to
feel
stand
like
up and
delineation is
right.
the first step. If you
Yeah,
can actually understand what delineation means and what it means going forward when it comes to political, legal, and ethnic representation in the United States of America, I think we can go forward. I think if we have a baseline of, okay, I'm a black American, you a black American, we're putting black Americans first, as in, FUBU, for us, by us, then we can go forward. But
right,
anything else, when it comes to just, I'm just gonna pick on this person because they're an immigrant or they speak a certain, nah, I wasn't raised like that. I didn't grow up thinking about whether somebody came from a different ethnic
a
background
lot of
or
us
whether they
didn't. I
talked
didn't
in a
either.
different language. That don't matter to me. But having black people first,
Right,
making sure that my ethnic group finally gets their due diligence from the United States of America, descendants of chattel slavery and all of the
period.
atrocities after and beyond, Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, et cetera, medical racism, environmental racism. When it comes to my people, my ethnic group specifically, I'm a proud black American. I understand what FBA means, but
Yeah,
when you have these places where it's just people screaming and yelling at each other, it's giving every other person that's intellectual, like love has a space where I can actually talk to people. It gives everybody else a bad rap.
right. That's all
Well,
I'm saying,
let,
y'all.
People,
let me just
But that's
say
why
too.
people fell out
people
with
act like,
Dre.
people act like back in my day, we had a common goal, right? We understood what the goal was. So whatever you was, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, whatever, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, professor, rich, poor, indifference, we had a common goal. The goal was more important than what religion you was, where you came
Hold on,
from,
Africa,
you
I got to
know.
bring somebody up. I'm going to drop you down. Go ahead, so JT can get in there, DRR. He was trying to talk.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we don't have a common goal. American blacks, we lost a common goal. Because common goal overrides all other ideologies. When you have something that you're pitted against and you're working together. I told a guy today, like when you're at the job and you're working with somebody and you thought he was a great guy, but then you find out he was a member of the Triple K. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way
Yeah,
life
I
is.
know. Okay, thank you, DRR. I know, Black. I was there for it. I saw it. Go ahead, JT.
You know, I,
Cha-cha. Oh, there you go. Go ahead, JT. What was you saying?
I think it's important too that we understand this. I think it's all about understanding, right? We have to understand that as foundational Black Americans, we have people in our community who are broke and dusty, who are rug addicts, who are abusers, right? People who are not going to think the way that we think, people who are rich, people who are poor. Like, we have to take it out of this mindset that we have to be just one group. It's not really a group, it's a lineage of people, right? So within a lineage of people, the 45 million of us, whether we acknowledge the fact that we're foundational Black Americans or not, frankly, I don't care what you call yourself. You know what I'm saying? Call yourself African American if you want to. But to me, we're all still foundational Black Americans. So I don't try to, people who are on the app crashing out on people, that's who they are as people. Has nothing to do with their lineage, me as a whole. You see what I'm saying? If
But see,
they're
the thing is, JT, I got a problem with them people crashing out all over everywhere. But they screaming loudly for every group of other people here. They screaming FBA loud to in Asian and all these other different spaces, and then it's just a bad taste in people's mouth when then they meet somebody who proudly say, like me, oh, I'm FBA. You ever heard of that? Oh yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's all I'm saying, JT.
Love, you're
You
being
right.
classist now. You're being classist.
I'm not trying to be. I'm just saying, like,
But,
you know what I mean?
but that's what
I'm
people
speaking.
say.
No, I'm speaking to the fact that him saying, you know, we got people and this and that of all different walks of life. We do, but it's like them it's so loud. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
They
we
so
gotta be
loud.
adults.
One thing that I do appreciate about foundational Black Americans on this app is that, you know, if you bring some smoke, we're going to bring some smoke right back to you. Because, see, just as much as I've heard FBA rhetoric and I've said a lot myself, I've heard twice as much rhetoric coming from immigrants who have come here disrespecting the people who made that possible. So I think there's a time and a place for everything. And I
But
think
I'm not just talking about immigrants, though. I keep saying we ain't. Right now, I'm not even talking about immigrants. I'm
Yeah,
talking about us.
I allow people.
I'm talking
One
about
thing
us.
I can say,
The way we treat us. That's what. I mean, the hell with the. You know, the immigrants is the
I'm not
immigrants.
quite understanding what you're saying,
I'm
sis.
saying.
the way we treat each
people.
other,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the
because
way people.
Like Black Americans treat Black Americans.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
or
lot of
people who
FBAs
claim to
beating
be
the other FBA.
FBA and then you don't move the way. That's what I said. What is the
What's
code?
this? I mean, that's just who they are as people. I mean, like I said, you're gonna have FBAs who are gonna crash out every time they get a mic. That's just who they are as a person. You see what I'm saying? You got some FBAs you can't leave around your quote unquote pocketbook. I know that's old school, but you know what I'm saying? You
But
got
this,
relatives you can't leave in your house. So
ain't gonna lie, JT. That's why me, cause I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna take the blame of why a lot of people got mad at Greg and Dan, because I was the one that said that we need to bring some decorum and some diplomacy to the app, because people go to Twitter, but TikTok is very popular. Know what I'm saying? And FBA being on TikTok, it has grown more than it has on Twitter. So we do have to push a version of the code where when we involved in debates or we dealing with each other, we got to have some type of decorum. When we dealing with other people, yeah, I love the way we deal with other people, because we stand on business. We run them down, but we still bring them some knowledge and we drop some historical facts. It's like Love just said. It's where we in our in our own and we dealing with each other, and we go through what called the vetting process, or people start calling other people out code because they're having conversations with people outside of the lineage, or they just dealing with people outside of the lineage, or they giving some pan-African type of views, and it's really just them being humane, because we still are loving people, and it's hard for us to get out of that trusted and want to be welcoming to others. That's what we are. That's our strength in our, know what I'm saying, our weakness.
no, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying right there, and I agree with you. That we should have more grace with each other, trying to understand like where each
That's
other's
all
coming
I
from.
was saying, JT.
But I think it's some people like who have a different understanding of what we're trying to do here. There's outliers, obviously. I think in any type of new movement, you're gonna have those type of people. But what I do understand too, though, is that like for me, for example, there's a lot of Africans I'm sure on this app that would say, "Yeah, JT, he's so xenophobic, yada yada yada." But I've been in rooms where we've had completely intellectual conversations with respectful Africans. You see what I'm saying? If the atmosphere is one where there's going to be disrespect there, well, then you're not going to disrespect my people, and I'm going to be silent about it. But if you come in with respect, like in your rooms, and we can have some decorum, we can have a good intellectual conversation. But I think that there are people in the FBA community and the Pan-African community and the immigrant community who only come into rooms to bring smoke. And so those people are people that we don't
The
have to.
Democratic community too.
Yeah. Those are people that we don't always have to give a mic to, because we know what type of energy they're going to bring to the room, be they FBA, Pan-African, or in the diaspora.
Yeah, because like,
Okay.
go back to Twitter, Love, because on Twitter we know who gonna come in the room and crash it out. This FBA or what immigrant is a troll. So like it makes sense. But you can go, Doctor.
Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, we did know, and then yeah, but here, I mean, we have some Black Americans, some people do this for a living. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's fair. I don't think we should be getting in the middle of each other, making our little coins on social media. I don't think that's right.
Yeah,
Whether it's a book, whether it's somebody trying to sell a book and they said something that one person don't agree with. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. That's just my perspective.
you're right, because I do feel like some people feel like we stepping on their toes. Because you gotta look at Twitter. We really have to compete on there. We for some type of attention, and everybody. Not to knock no other app, but Twitter started off as an intellectual app. You had professionals, politicians, doctors, lawyers, all using that app. So, of course, it's gonna be like a high intellectual thing that people want to bring over here. Because even though
And that build up hatred within, you know what I mean? Somebody who is of the same lineage, you mess with their money. Now, we ain't trying to make enemies within.
yeah, that's why I appreciate the gifts, but no one said I try not to focus on that because I know them tellers gonna be like,
No, I ain't just
all
talking
you
about
do
no
is get
gifts. I'm
the
talking about authors. I heard a bookseller, somebody trying to sell their book, and then it went left up in here. Now they getting dragged, and you know what I mean? Not just by that. We already
You
got to
talking
deal
about
with
like
that.
doxers?
Yeah, right. You know
Oh,
what I
oh yeah,
mean? We
man.
can't
Yes,
be
it's wicked.
doxing each other and stuff. That make
It's definitely
enemies.
wicked.
yeah, doxing on her kind of worse than it is on the
Yeah.
book.
Okay, so like, all right. So for example, like get back in the civil rights days, right? People said, the boozies and the boulets, they didn't participate. You know what Dr. King told them? Okay, I know you own a business. I know you got this going on. You got this going on. Your public exposure could damage what you're doing. All they had to do, all we done was financially support the movement, because a lot of people could not be upfront online in the movement because it was damaging what they're doing in terms of their profession and their business, and we understood that. Now today, either you're with me and everything I say, and you have no opinion. I'm saying the reason I think it's such a problem with us, because we don't have a common goal, something that we all can say, you know what, irregardless, this brother might not be the person that I would hang out with and have a beer with, but he's going to fight for this. I'll work with him. This sister might not be the type of sister I would date, but nevertheless, she's going for this, and I will work with her. We got to find a common denominator, guys. We got to find something that we all can agree on.
I
I
thought
mean,
it
I
was
think that's what
reparation.
reparations is.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was,
Yeah.
reparation.
But you got to look at it. Everybody's not reparationists. You have more people who are nationalists and just ethnocentric, and I ain't gonna lie, some of those are the super fringe people who be super combative, and because you like I always say, some people are too racist and some people ain't racist enough. So a lot we gotta find some balance in push those examples of the balance, because we gotta be diplomatic at the end of the day.
But you know what, Receipt? You know the difference is like when reparations really first started becoming a main talking point on social audio apps. We're talking about like 2021, really 2022 on Twitter. It was a lot more people like kind of trying to spread the information, get more people invested into reparations. Now it's a lot different. Now it's like a lot of people's already been doing this for like 5 years, 4 years. So it's like extremely clicked up. And then you got a lot of people who don't have access to the resources or the organizations or the grassroots level to understand reparations. Now, they kind of just jumping in it and they don't really understand it at all, and then clashing with people who do understand it. It's kind of like a hodgepodge. It needs to be kind of like it needs to be organized a little bit more, so people can kind of jump right into it, you know what I mean, and at least gather the information. But also on the other side needs people who is willing to learn the information before like assuming things, right?
That's why we need to get it kind of like how Twitter is, where everybody is cool of being in their own individual lane or political thought. Because you still got the Freeman, you got the Freemans over there, you
Boy,
got
that
the
took years
Negroes, your
though, but
Indians,
that
and your
took
FBA. You
years.
still got your ADOS, your bad Democrats, your Republicans, but they still come in all come in a room and strategize together and debate each other so they can come up with better strategies
Right.
and go
And come
back
up
in
with some,
their own
yeah.
lane. Yeah.
So how long
And
the FBA movement and stuff been going on over here?
to me, I feel like it fully kicked out when Tariq brought his ass over
Somebody said 2019.
because
2019?
it was going on all apps, but it was people in small numbers
You
pushing it.
you
I
gotta
know
look at it like
Leo, he
this.
been pushing it
Clubhouse
for a
didn't even
while.
come out until like 2020, I don't think, right? And then it was like Twitter really didn't have Twitter Spaces until like I want to say 2022.
Yeah.
So the conversation on audio apps, has been happening for a minute, but
It
uh,
started on
yeah, FBA, like Tariq was talking about FBA on YouTube, like 2019. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole
say
history
Twitter
to
because
it
that's
with
where him and
ADOS and
yeah, that's
stuff
with
like
No,
him and
no,
that.
I
AOS
know that. I was just wondering because I wasn't on lives. I just started coming on TikTok lives. I'll post some content, but lives I didn't find out about. Well, I knew it was there. I just never was on lives though until Tariq came over. That's what made me come over from X on
Yeah, because
lives, on the
2020,
live side.
Mhm.
I was just wondering how long people been holding FBA spaces
Well,
though.